Hey guys, wanted to put up a video today. I was going to put this up a few minutes ago, and then I just thought that's just going to be a disaster. So I wanted to put up kind of a bridge over into t-test so that you can know what to expect when you run a t-test in Excel. But before I do, just a quick review. If you have not looked at the video about t-test, and if you have not completed the notes that go with the videos, then you need to stop right now, okay? You're wasting your time. Please go watch the videos and complete the notes. I've had some feedback from a few students who've said that they're not watching the videos and stuff, and I'm telling you, you're wasting your time, and that's not going to go well for you when we get into the end of the semester. So please, we have a month until the end of the semester, so please stay with me. Watch the videos that I'm putting up. Okay, I'm doing my best trying to help you out as best I can, and I'm putting them up there for you guys. So please, if you haven't watched the videos, stop wasting your time and go watch them right now and complete the notes, okay? And just as a quick reminder, remember the t-test is used to compare two group means, okay? We're looking at the mean of one group, the central measure, and we're comparing it to the mean of another group. It's a statistical test that's going to be used to compare two groups, okay? So we're running this statistical test as a means of comparing two different groups, okay? And it's going to give us an outcome based on that statistical test. And remember, almost always, the groups are going to be different. That's not usually in question, but the question we're trying to ask is, are they different enough to where we can say that they're significantly different? Are they different enough to where you can say they're not just different because of what we call randomness or error? And that concept is on the video I put up about statistical hypothesis, I think. And so please make sure you're going back and looking at that, okay? Because that is kind of coming right out of that lecture, that video, and that'll help you review for that, okay? And remember, the outcome of the t-test, remember it's a statistical test, and so the outcome is going to be this p-value, okay? And the p-value is compared to this chosen, like this alpha level, and we talked about this in, I think, statistical hypothesis, okay, testing the statistical hypothesis. And remember that p-value, it's like this, it's what we call a probability value. It's a value, it's a measure of probability that the difference we see between groups is because of randomness or error. And we compare that value to our alpha level. And as long as the probability that the difference we see is because of randomness or error is less than kind of this threshold alpha level that we've chosen, then we can then say that, yeah, these two groups are statistically significant, okay? But remember, the p-value doesn't mean anything unless we compare it to the alpha level. So just remember that we've got to compare it to the alpha level to determine whether the two groups are statistically different or whether the difference is statistically significant, okay? And just as a quick review, we talked about these three different types of t-tests that we were going to be talking about. This one sample t-test where you're comparing sample data to a population, and we could compare one small group to a large group as a whole. Some examples of that, like looking at grades in one area, like exercise science compared to the university, or looking at people getting sick in one city compared to like our country or the world as a whole. Okay, so those are examples of one sample t-test, but I'm not going to really ask you to really deal with that a lot this semester. I am going to ask you to deal with independent samples t-test, and we're going to see this. And when we're looking at independent samples t-test, we're comparing data from two separate samples, okay? And we are taking into account the group mean and the group variance, and Excel will do that for you. Statistical software will do that for you, and takes into account the sample size, okay? But the main thing is that you need to know that when you're comparing two different groups, okay, two independent groups, like male and female, or training and control, two groups that are independent, trained group versus a non-trained group, okay, or an active group versus a sedentary group. Those are two different independent groups. You're going to use what's called an independent samples t-test. That's comparing two independent groups. One group is over here, the other group is over here, and they don't deal with each other. They're completely independent. Independent samples t-test. The other one is a paired samples t-test. All the data comes from the whole big group, but we look at it twice. for example, looking at before and after testing, like a cognitive, like a pre-test entry exam versus a post-test exit exam, or physical, like how physically fit a group was before, and then look at after a training program. Okay, so we're comparing before and after. Okay, or we can also look at two separate but identical assessments, but everybody's assessed twice. Okay, like we look at, well, we're going to look at the left leg wall sit for the whole group and compare it to the right leg wall sit whole group. Okay, so that's the other main t-test we'll be running this semester. The rest of this month, actually in April, is the paired samples t-test. Okay. Okay, guys, and so now I've pulled up this Excel data set, and I'm just going to use this as an example of what you would see as a result of a t-test. And remember what you are looking for. The t-test is going to generate a p-value, and I've just kind of customized up this data set where, right down here, you're going to have this p-value. It's going to generate right here, and I'll show you in just a minute, okay? But I wanted to show you an example of how this works. And you guys, you're going to see me run this, and you're going to be like, God, how does he know how to do that? And I'm never going to, right now today, don't worry about it. I'm going to put up another video that's going to show you how to run a t-test. I just didn't want to rush it today. I just want to show you what it looks like. So I want to show you one thing here. So let's look here. Look right here. This, it's hard to explain, but this is a group of data. This is, there's about 30-ish participants here, and this is all, a bunch of data, okay? Men, this is all guys right here, all men, okay? And we had them do a bunch of push-ups, on January 1st, and then we came back and we, and sit-ups and sit and reach, okay? And we came back, so this is 3 different measures. We came back and we measured them again on July 1st, okay? So you see that? Now, if you don't see that, stop the video now, run it back about 15, 20 seconds until you get it, okay? But this is push-ups on January 1st, sit and reach and sit-ups, same group, men. And then we did it again on July 1st, okay? Simple. And we have all this numbers down here, okay? Now I want to show you something. Here's an example of what I'm talking about. Let's look at sit and reach, okay? Now right down here, this is the group mean. So on January 1st, okay, look, January 1st, the group mean right down here, the average number of push-ups for the whole group, they were able to do 27.7, okay? So 27.7 push-ups, all right? Then we did a bunch of training, and 6 months later, we made up, these are just numbers, I'm making these up, okay? But so on July 1st, they were able to do 28.1 push-ups, okay? So see, this is a difference here. We can see, not much of a difference, but it's enough. It's a difference, 0.4, okay, right? So you'd say, oh, okay, they're different. They're able. So the thing is, now listen to what I'm saying. I'm gonna put exclamation points here. The thing is that people would say, well, yeah, okay, so they were able to do more push-ups in July than they were in January. So whatever you were telling them to do, giving them homework or whatever, that was working. They did more push-ups in July than January, right? Okay, but let's look here. Now watch. Let me show you. Now, you're not going to need to know how to do this, okay, but I'm just going to show you what the outcome is here. So I'm going to run a t-test. Now, again, you don't need to know this, okay, so please don't worry about it. Sit and reach. Okay, so that's going to be H3 down to H32, okay? And then I'm going to compare that to K3 down to K32, okay? It's a two-tail, and it's paired, okay? And again, don't worry about this right now. I'm going to bang through this, so you don't need to worry about it. Okay, so yeah, look. So yeah, they're different, right? Different, 27.7, 28.1, different, right? Okay, but watch when I run this t-test right here. I think it'll work. Okay, now look. So this is the p-value, guys. Okay, look. So that p-value, it's 0.06. Now, look, if we set our alpha, alpha at 0.05, okay, we're saying, anything above 0.05. Remember, we talked about that, okay? That the p-value needs to be below the alpha level for it to be statistically significant, okay? So while these two groups are different, they're not statistically significantly different because this probability right here is greater than our alpha of 0.05, okay? So again, just you got to get that in your head, okay? So even though they're different, they may be different because of randomness or error. This p-value tells us that they're not different enough to where we can say they're different because of what I told them to do, because of the homework I gave them, the training program I gave them, whatever it is, they're not different enough to where we can say that it's not just because of randomness or error. I'll show you another one. Look over here. So let's look at women. This is a group of females over here. Same deal, okay? So here's their sit and reach test, okay? So on January 1st, we had them all do a sit and reach, okay? And, you know, the average was 28.2 centimeters sit and reach, okay? We all retested them. We tested them all on July 1st. That's 6 months later. Their sit and reach, 28.8. So you go, okay, good. 28.8. That's greater than 28.2. Gosh, they were able to, they gained some flexibility there. Okay, they were able to, you know, obviously whatever you're telling them to do worked, because look, they're able to stretch 0.6 centimeters more. Good job, good job. Okay, so we come over here. So there's a difference, right? So yeah, the two groups must be different and they're statistically significantly different. Okay, but look, here's the deal. Look, watch. Now again, you're not going to need to know this right now. I'm going to show you later. I just want you to see what the outcome looks like. Okay, get used to it. Q3, let's see, let's keep this sit and reach. Q32. Okay. T3, T30, no, 32. Okay. Oh, two-tailed, that's paired. Okay, because it's the same group twice, before and after. Okay, watch. Now look, so this is the p-value. Look, it came in at 0.051. Is that less than our alpha of 0.05? Alpha, whoa, man. Alpha is 0.05, okay, 0.05. I know you can't see that, but no, it's not. It's greater than our alpha. So it's greater than our alpha. So we accept the no-sig diff hypothesis. We say, well, the difference between these two could just be because of randomness or error. So guys, you can't just look at the number over here and be like, well, 28.8 is greater than 28.2, so then therefore they're obviously significantly different. It doesn't work that way. It's statistical analysis, okay? So I want you to understand that it's all about, for what I'm teaching you, it's all about the p-value. You can't just look at this number and no matter what say, yes, they are statistically, they're significantly different, okay? You have to run a statistical analysis to tell you that, okay? So I'm going to put this video up and maybe it'll give you some questions. This is going to get kind of rocky, and if you have questions, look, that's up to you. You've got to email me, message me, whatever. I'm up from 8 a.m. until about 10 p.m. at night. So I'm here to answer the questions, but you've got to ask them, okay, either via email or the Remind app, okay? Please reach out to me. Please, guys, we've got 3-4 weeks left to go. You've got to stay with me, okay? I'll put this up, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye.